Welcome everybody. I am, as was so well put, my name is Sain. I am the coordinator of student success and retention here at Grand Rapids Community College. I want to do some housekeeping things before I get going into this and give a huge thanks out to Nora for reaching out to me to spend a little bit of time with you guys on a day. As well as the whole English department. I see some of my family here, some of my favorite people on this campus, and so it feels very good to have you guys present today. A quick overview on what's about to go down. And so I hope y'all are ready. The power of the written word is going to be an interactive dialogue, and so I'm telling y'all right now, there's going to be the lesson and the message. So you can write if you want to, but it's going to be more interactive than anything. And so I'm going to also tell you guys about how writing my brother in prison helped improve my writing skills. I need you guys to repeat after me. I can. Y'all got to turn up for me. Y'all got to turn up, GRCC. I can. I will. Be great. All right, true story. One more time. I can. I will. Be great. Guys, growing up, and I'm gonna make this as cool as I can make it for you guys. Growing up, I barely said 10 words. And I'll be the first to tell you that in elementary, middle school, as well as high school, I didn't talk much. And as a result, they labeled me what we would call shy. One day, my mom came up to school for what you know as parent-teacher conferences, and all of a sudden I heard a teacher say something like, Chris is a good student, but I think he's shy. And I'm sitting back saying to myself, shy? Where'd that come from? And so she went on to talk about how quiet I was and end up labeling it as shy. And so I always said, I can guarantee you, if you ask the ladies, they'll be the first to tell you I wasn't shy. And so the teacher had it all wrong. But again, when you are in a class full of people that's doing things to get all the attention and you're not, you can come off as that. And so for me, it wasn't that I was shy, I was observant. I want to set the record straight in front of you guys on the day as my new family. Far from shy, but very, very observant. And I often try to tell people, it's a huge difference between being shy and being quiet. And I like to tell people, don't confuse the two. For me, though, quick story, back to the ladies real quick. They called me shy in school, but I want to tell, I'm happy we got some fellas in the room today. They said I was shy, but let me tell you what it really was. I knew all along I wasn't shy. However, I did know that quietness had a mystique about it. And to my female counterparts, they always coined it as, there's just something about you. We can't figure it out, but we like it. We see how you come to school every day. We see how you come to class every day. You don't say much, but you got a little swag about yourself. You do your work, and before you know it, that was that quiet trait, or that shy trait, as they called it, was drawing the ladies towards me. And so between us, it ended up working in my favor versus it being something negative. And so to my fellas that's in the room today, and this fellas only, I need y'all to say, because I tell everybody all the time, I didn't have a lot of game. Mind you, I didn't say 10 words my whole school career, elementary, middle school, and high school. But what I did say was two things, and that was, what up, though, and what's good. And so fellas only, I need y'all to repeat after me. What up, though? Y'all got to say that, because look, you trying to get the ladies. So one more time. What up, though? What's good? And so, fellas, check this out. When you say what up, though, the female going to respond. So now the ball back in your court, and then you say what's good. Y'all follow me? Okay. We got it. Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, if I see y'all all of a sudden starting to get the ladies on campus, I'm running y'all Raider car and getting some money off that because I'm charging for my services. Y'all need to know who that game came from that gave y'all that. But nevertheless, guys, I digress. But I tell you, I wasn't shy. But when you come from the environment that I come from, you had to always know what was going on around you. And for me, I needed to be aware of my surroundings. So I would come to class and I would sit to make sure that I'm not getting off into no foolishness, but I needed to be aware. I needed to be on point. And so, although I didn't talk much, I always had very, very good written communication skills. One thing in particular that served me well was, although I didn't say much, I could express myself through the written word. I can express my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions in a very eloquent way almost through writing. And sometimes I could say things that I couldn't say verbally with how I wrote. And between us, that's really one of the things that got me through. A quick story about undergrad, and you don't have to feel sorry for this story, but it served more as a motivator than a knock. So I get to MSU, and I knew all along that I could write very, very well. And so I turned in one of my first few English papers at MSU, and I was hyped, y'all. I ain't gonna even front. I was very, very excited. I couldn't wait to see how I did. Went to the professor. I said, man, I just want to get my paper. He said, he handed me my paper and said, go to the ombudsman. I thought that was an omelet shot or something. Mind you, I'm a first generation college kid. I don't know nothing about what ombudsman is, and I said, excuse me, where is that? That new omelet shop on campus? They got some ham and cheese omelets I can go get? We gonna sit down and talk about my paper? I really didn't know. And guys, his words to me was this. He said, there's no way somebody like you can write this well. First time being in college, a guy that come from nothing, that hit was huge for me. But it motivated. I said, man, if this college professor can tell me that my writing was so good that he thought that there's no way that somebody like me can write this way, that he's saying something. And I said, I ain't gonna be mad at him. So we just started calling him a hater from that point. Y'all know about some haters? And so he just was a little hater, but I just told him simple like this. I said, my pen game's strong. And because he didn't know my story, he didn't know why my pen game was strong. Everybody repeat after me, pen game. Y'all gotta turn up for me, GRCC. Man, I do this all over the country, man. I need y'all to turn up. Say pen game. Pen game. Strong. Strong. Pen game. Pen game. Strong. Strong. That just means you nice with the pen. That's all that means. Okay. Understand this. Society suggested, as well as the media, as well as the local newspapers, anywhere I can turn, to be honest, they suggested, along with the mass media, that I didn't have much of a future. I mean, in a young black male from the hood, okay? When you young and you're black and you come from where I come from, everything out there suggests that I didn't have much of a future. Mass media drastically talked about the misconceptions of black and brown people, and those things, unfortunately for us, it drove policies that oftentimes hurt us. Statistics suggest that males from low-income families, like me, from low-income neighborhoods, like me, will be dead or in jail by 25. One of the reasons why, 68% of boys are born without a father. 85% of men in prison report not knowing, not having, and never touching their fathers. See, that's deep. I need to understand something. Listen to me. Did you know that 1 in every black male born today can expect to go to prison at some point in time in his life? See, I see a few guys in here. My man with the nice Bulls hat on. I like that. You, my guy back there with the Red Wing sweater on. I see you. Those of you I see in here, just know these statistics are real. Out of the 3 of y'all, it's even suggesting that between one of the 3 of you, somebody gonna go see the joint at some point in time in their life. And that's the sad reality that we face with every day. Did you know every 28 hours a black person is killed? This is my reality. This is how I walk around. These are the things that I know. See, we work in an institution of higher learning, and they love data here, but they don't like the numbers that I bring. This is my reality. There's over approximately 2.1 million people in prison. Approximately 40% or 840,000 black males make up the prisons. 14.4% attend college. That would be y'all. But only 16% actually graduate. Guys, I vow if I live to see 17, that I will one day talk about my journey. That's how real it was. This is my reality. Check this out, those of you that can see this picture. I have to sit back and just say, wow. That's your boy right there. That's me, 8 years old. I don't know what y'all was doing when y'all was 8, but from 8 years old on through, this is where I was at. This is one of the Michigan Department of Corrections, visiting my brother in prison. They said we only had 2 options. You're gonna either be dead or in jail. Those are the options when you come from where I come from. Since 8 years old, and I tell people all the time, it wasn't no trips up north, wasn't no cottages, never been to Disneyland, never been to Cedar Point, never been to Michigan Adventures. 8 years old, your boy is in the joint. And me and my brother, we close. Anybody know what these signs mean right here? It's just a symbol for closeness. Me and my big bro, we very, very close. And I spent all of my childhood doing that. But at 8 years old, I also realized, and I used to go visit him, I used to also say, man, this ain't the place for me. And that settled in to me at 8 years old. Prison was not the place for me. So long story short, I began to go hard in sports. So you see now from a boy to a man. See, when they throw the book at you, if y'all don't know what that is, that's called 25 to life. When they throw the book at you, this is what it was. Still no Disneyland, still no Cedar Point. Got my mama with me. At the time, I'm playing ball at Michigan State. See, for me, sports put me on a fast track to success. But I'll be the first to tell y'all, I was nice in sports. Don't get it twisted. Anybody in here can get it. Very, very nice in sports. It put me on a fast track to success. It was my ticket out of my environment. But most importantly, it was how I was planning on providing for those two. He was gonna come home one day. So you're gonna get through those calendars. You're gonna knock those calendars out, and eventually one day you're gonna come home. And I knew that. And I was saying by the time he come home, as one of the best athletes that ever come out of Michigan, I should be in the league doing my thing by the time he come home, so that he doesn't have to take penitentiary chances to go back to jail. I should also be able to buy that lady in the middle, our mom, anything she wanted, a house, a car. And so that was my motivation. But this was my reality. From a boy to a man, I ain't never been nowhere. So when y'all see how much passion I have about stuff, when y'all see why I push student success and try to make sure any of y'all that I come in contact with, I'm gonna try to push y'all into greatness. This is what it was for me right here. True story. Listen to me. When you visit in a prison for over 20 years, I'm gonna be the first to tell you, that costs money. We ain't have a lot of it. How you guys think we communicated? Somebody blurt something out. I have to say it one more time. Yeah, I'm in prison, they're called kites. I begin to write. You guys might know it more as creative writing. I began to write my brother because we didn't have enough money to go visit him every week. And I began to write my brother, and just like I'm direct with you guys, I'm direct with everybody. And I was direct even with my big brother. And with the type of stuff I was writing was more about stuff about keeping him motivated, keeping his mind right, keeping his spirit right, telling him this hope for him that when one day he come home, we can have a better life. And so I didn't have enough money, and my mom and my family didn't have enough money to continue to go up and visit them consistently. So we relied on the power of the written word. I wrote them. I wrote them early, and I wrote them often. It got to a point when I got to Michigan State, we was writing each other so much. He wrote a paper, and he said, bro, man, you mind giving this to one of your professors, your English professors, and having them review it to let me know how my writing skills are. See, he was in a joint trying to better himself. He was trying to make sure that if he got to see the day of light again, that he could sit where y'all was sitting at and do something with his opportunity. I said, absolutely, bro. Send me that paper, man. So I rushed home from practice. See, the guys on the squad, they didn't know about my life. They didn't know that after the games, we play Michigan, we play Ohio State. It wasn't no partying for me. I was going up to the prison, kicking at him, telling him what I did, what I didn't do. And that's what it was. And so he sent the letter. I got it in the mail, opened it. I read it. I thought it was pretty decent. And I took it to the professor. Professor read it, marked it up, gave him some critiques. Then I sent it back to my brother so he could feel like he could belong. He had a place in this world. That was huge for him. People ask all the time, man, how did two brothers from the same house have two different paths in life? How was it that society said I'm supposed to be dead or in jail, or we supposed to be dead or in jail by 25? How was it that he went to prison for nearly 20 years and by 24, I had a master's degree? I'm gonna make this make sense for you guys. Listen to me. He got out. I didn't make it to the league, but we wrote each other the whole bid he did. The whole stretch, we continued to write each other. We continue to inspire each other. He got out. Guess who represented him at his parole hearing? His little bro. We ain't had much money then. I didn't make it to the league. And so I had to rely on my plan B. But nevertheless, I was still able to provide for him when he got home. Bought him a bike. Let me tell y'all how real the struggle is. Bought him a bike. Wasn't no car, it was a bike. Every day. So this is why I don't give students excuses. Every day from the day he got out the joint, he rode his bike all across Grand Rapids, turning in job applications. When you in prison for 20 years, you don't know nothing about no internet. You don't know nothing about no smartphone. That stuff is foreign to him. Rode his bike just to drop off an application, let alone if he was gonna get a call back or anything like that. We used to read the East Bay. I don't know if y'all even know about the East Bay. He used to circle outfits in there that he wanted for when he got out the joint, because he had an image he wanted to come out. He didn't want to appeal to the streets no more. He wanted to look like he was worth something. So I got him all the clothes that I could afford to make sure that, and this how you gonna look, because we need somebody to take a chance on you. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, right now, when he got out, he came to GRCC. He was on the dean's list every semester he was here. He's a top supervisor at Cascade Engineering. He owns 2 houses, got 2 kids and a son on the way. He's doing phenomenal. I like to think his little bro and all the writing and the kites that I sent him played a role in that. His name is Jay. It's my big bro. It's not mandatory we go to prison. Goals, they were something that I wrote down, and I'm gonna encourage you guys to do the same. We all store a lot of stuff in our head, but it's easy with the things and busyness of life to forget. I used to write my goals down. I started writing them down when I was 8, that picture that I showed y'all when I was in the joint. I started writing them down at 8 because I needed them to remind me what I'm supposed to do with my life. I put them on top of the PlayStation, so whenever I push power on the PlayStation, my goals is right there. Everybody go to the bathroom in the morning, right? Or I'm the only one? Okay. But when you turn the light on in the bathroom, the goals is right there. I work out, I lift weights, and the goals is, I always had them in eye shot, so I can always be reminded of what my purpose was and what I'm supposed to do with my life. 1, I will be productive every day. See, understand something, I got the same exact 24 hours as Oprah, as Mark Zuckerberg, as all them guys, Jay-Z. I got the same thing, the same exact time that they got. Y'all, I gotta get it. I've been on fire for success and anything I can remember, and I'm very, very intentional about how I use my time. I will not go to jail. Understand something, by third grade, they are making a determination about it, especially if y'all got brothers and sisters that's in elementary. By third grade, they're making a determination about how many new prisons they need to build. That's real talk. It's kind of stuff y'all need to know. I told myself I wasn't going to jail. I will not die young. See, that's my reality. I know jail, I know death. Told myself I wasn't gonna be one of those guys that died young. My best friend happened to live 2 doors down. You know Derek Pimpleton, he's from my neighborhood. Got killed at Miss Tracy's. 13 years old, first time I saw something of that magnitude take place. Yeah, it was sad for a minute, but I said that won't be me. I'm gonna make better choices and decisions than that right there. I would graduate high school. I don't even think I had a choice. My dad wasn't having it. My dad was telling me from the jump, high school is a prerequisite. That's a given. You're gonna definitely go do that. I didn't like school. I don't say that to discourage anybody. But I told myself I would play college football. Therefore, I had to embrace school. I had to embrace the things that came with school. And I went on to play football at MSU and finished up at Saginaw Valley. Told myself I would graduate college after I accepted my fate that even I got these athletic gifts. I can run, I can jump out the gym, I can do all these things as an athlete, but I accepted my fate. When football didn't work out, I ended up injuring my shoulder, and I turned my focus to school, and I ended up adding that goal that I would graduate college in. Let me tell y'all something, when you begin to go as hard as you go in anything else you do and you start applying that towards your academics, so in my case, I prided myself on being a great athlete. See, underneath all this, we ready. We ready to go. Check this out. When I started applying myself and started going as hard as I went in the classroom and on the football field, when I applied that same level of intensity to the classroom, I began to flourish. Mind you, I'm a first-generation college student. The first to tell you that I wasn't college material and that college wasn't for me. I graduated at the top of the class and I ain't even like school. Just show you. And then my last goal was that I would be happy. Success didn't matter to me as much, but being happy did. Learn to appreciate the little things. Listen to me. One day I decided I wanted to be more than what society expected and predicted of young black males growing up in the inner city. I wanted to be more than what society expected and predicted, and that was by any means. And so I always said, so what that football didn't work out? I ain't gonna let that be no excuse. So what that my brother did all those years in prison? I'm not gonna let that be an excuse. So what my mom and dad got a divorce? Nothing was gonna serve as an excuse. By any means necessary, I wanted to be more than what society expected and predicted. And so I adopted this mantra. It came to me, it was dropped in my spirit at a very young age. And I used to say I'm a product of my expectations, not my environment. And that was the kind of mindset that I had that keep me focused. I didn't never let excuses. I don't care what happened, what the circumstance was. I never let anything serve as an excuse. I need y'all to repeat after me. I'm a product of my expectations, not my environment. One more time. I'm a product of my expectations, not my environment. The reason why that's so profound and universally applicable, it don't matter if you came from a silver spoon and you rich. It don't matter if you came from the dirt like me. If you expect greatness out of yourself, no matter the circumstances, nothing will stop you. From that moment on, though, guys, I was on a mission to be great. And I'm telling you, that same fire that Michael Jordan got, that same fire that Kobe got, the things that made those guys great, LeBron, that's the same fire I got. It's just not in athletics no more. It's for life. Suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character. And character produces hope. That's deep. Repeat after me. Suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character. And Character produces hope. Listen to me. My truth, a little bit about me. The number one question I receive now, and this on the other side of the coin. Chris, how did you make it? And when they say make it, they're referring to a variety of things. Make it out alive. Mind you, the statistics say, not Chris, the statistics say, as those of y'all that's black in this room, you got to 16 to 25. You're supposed to be out of here. That's what the stats suggest. They ask all the time, how did I make it out alive? They're referring to how did I make it in life, whether it was in school, whether it was as a young professional. Guys, it's simple. I found my purpose. All those years going to the prison, visiting my brother, helped me find my purpose. A couple things I knew for certain was that I didn't want to be in the joint. I was so determined and motivated to defy the odds, prove statistics wrong, prove the naysayers wrong, prove the media wrong. And I simply just wanted to be more than what society expected and predicted. Those are the things that I tell people all the time on how I made it. I was determined to outlive the expectations that others had for me. I was determined to outlive those. This is ironic right here. This is me, guys, still walking in my truth. Now, I told y'all at the onset of this that for years, I spent all my childhood in the prison visiting my big bro. Ironic, I grow up, I find my lane in life. And in addition to doing stuff like this, talking with students, I get the call all the time to come by the prisons. How ironic is that? I stop by the prison, and my message for them, it's a different conversation than I have with y'all. Y'all are college kids, it's college students. But two things that I always tell them: it ain't mandatory we go to prison, and they need to know that. And I tell them all the time that it's somebody out there that still believes in you. That one person is me. We ain't forgot about you. If you get a chance to come back out and make something of yourself, do so. I go to prisons all the time. I go to detention centers all the time. There's not very many educators that go into the places that I go to and sit down with the type of people I sit down with. And I feel a responsibility. I love talking to the students. You guys give me energy, but I don't ever forget. I'm always reminded of my humble beginnings, but they never serve as an excuse. And I make sure that any chance I get, when I'm on my speaking tours, I'm trying to connect with the local prison to make sure I go in there and pour something positive into the lives of guys that may never get this opportunity to sit at a college and have a chance to better their lives. Now, although speaking is cool, even though, and I tell people all the time, I'm the least likeliest person to speak to anybody. I didn't say 10 words growing up, so for me to be speaking is huge. But I believe that while a speaker can impact a crowd, an author can impact generations. Listen to me. When I was growing up, I told myself if I lived to see 17, that I would one day write a book about it. So when I actually turned 17 and I looked around, I'm like, man, I'm still alive. I gotta hold myself accountable. I began to put pen to paper. And so although everything in life was against me, I had to stay true to what I told myself a long time ago. And when I got my degree, see, understand this. You get your education, the doors start opening. Opportunities you never exist begin to present themselves. And so for me, that's exactly what happened. Jumped off the stage, young as I want to be, advanced degrees, landed a job at Notre Dame. That's a life changer. Little guy from where I'm from, working at Notre Dame. Sitting at Notre Dame though, guys, and I love y'all students a lot better. No knock to them. Those some awesome kids. But what I like about y'all can relate to the struggle a little bit different than they do. I used to come in and talk to them, meet with my little caseload. They used to say stuff like this: Chris, I'm just here because my dad told me to come here. He wanted me to have the Notre Dame degree. I don't care what I do on the football, but they was athletes. I don't care what I do in sports. I'm going to be the CEO of his Fortune 500 company. I'm looking like, dang, it's that easy? I had to get out of school, fill out an application, search some places online. One kid told me, hey, can I use your cell phone? I was like, cool, man, go ahead. Don't take too long on my phone. I need that. He said, I just stood close to just watching, make sure he don't run off of my iPhone. He called his mom up. Hey, Mom, can you send me $5,000? I said, man, give me my phone. You can ask your mom for $5,000 straight up? Man, when I was in school, trust me, we was on them po man meals. Anybody know what the po man meal is? There we go. You know what I'm saying? And $5,000, man, I couldn't ask my mom for 50. This dude talking about, Mom, can you send me 5,000? I said, at that moment, I said, Notre Dame, y'all are cool. I said, but there's some students in this world that need me. They need this story. They need somebody that can relate to their struggle, that actually get it, that actually been there. See, I've been y'all. A lot of y'all ain't been me, but I've been y'all. And so I can help you navigate this thing that y'all going through. I can help you navigate education as well as life. I believe that the author is cool because they can impact generations. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the process. The same things that apply to make you a great author is the same things that I believe applies to make you a great student. I tell people all the time, going to college don't make you smarter than nobody. One thing it does do, it means you have enough self-discipline to actually get through it. Same thing with as an author, writing a book. Every day I would write. I'm a morning person. I'm a 5 a.m. guy, meaning I do more by 8 o'clock than most humans do in a whole day. I told y'all, man, I got to get it. I use my 24 hours the best I can. But I would write from 8 to 12 on Saturdays. Wasn't no cartoons. Y'all watch cartoons still? Wasn't no cartoons. Man, I'm writing, and I stayed writing, and I stayed writing. And actually, guys, the book and everything I wrote, because I wrote about my life, everything flowed. It just flowed. It was so much in me. I seen so much. When I really sat down to put pen to paper, it wasn't a bunch of brain jog. It was coming out like water. The naysayers, a.k.a. haters. Somebody repeat after me. Say haters. Haters. We all got them. Yeah. Check this out, man. The naysayers. Who do he think he is? And look, man, when y'all go through life, you guys are going to hear the same type of stuff. Soon as you step out to do something great with your life, somebody going to pop up out of nowhere trying to throw salt on you, trying to keep you down. You got to get your stiff arm game together, though. You can't let them stop you. Who does he think? These kind of questions I used to get. Who does he think he is? Who does he think will read this book? He hasn't lived. I'm young now. I was even younger doing all the stuff I'm telling y'all about. He ain't lived long enough to write a memoir. Man, stop listening to jokers. I'm telling y'all that right now. They knew my name, but they didn't know my story. Repeat after me. You know my name, not my story. You know my name, not my story. Make sure y'all, I don't care if y'all tweet these, it's all good. I'm going to help y'all get y'all Twitter followers up and Facebook and all that after today anyway. Understand this, man. People will see the end result. They see me now, but they don't consider my journey. They see me now, but they don't know what I was doing at 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 and on through. They don't know the journey. Listen to me. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great. Let's say that one more time. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great. This one right here, to be unafraid of the judgment of others is the greatest freedom in the world. I'm going to tell y'all something about this one. This one helped set me free. See, I work in education, and I'll be the first to tell you this title right here probably ain't the most politically correct title to go with for education. But to be unafraid of the judgment of others, my truth is my truth. See, these people that's in education, they know my name. They don't know my story. You understand? And so this is why I'm so effective with people, with educators, with students, with everybody, with prisoners. I can go in any arena and flourish because I always carry my truth with me everywhere I go. And when I lost all my excuses, I found my results. Understand something. Listen to me. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Guys, don't run from the struggle. Run towards it. Embrace it. Don't run from the struggle. Run towards it and embrace it. Let me tell y'all something. I get calls all the time. Hey, Chris, can you come to our campus? Can you come talk to the students? They need to hear you. They need you to bring some swag on campus. Whatever they calling and saying, this is how it goes down. And I tell people all the time, my struggles, the stuff that most people run from, those are the things that became part of my testimony. Don't run from it, man. Listen to me. The book has gone places that I may never, ever go. It's the power of writing. I sat down one day. I put pen to paper. I just told my truth. I'm telling y'all a small little version of it. But the greatest prison people live in is the fear of what other people think of them. I knew all along at 17 years old, if I live to see it. Mind you, my best friend, they took him out at 13. So it was a for real fear that I wasn't going to see 17. Because at 13, this was my reality. At 17, I told myself what I was going to do. I knew the title back then. I knew everything about what I was going to do back then. Just know when you believe in yourself, anything is possible. I have now sold 4,000 and counting. That's work, man. That's work. I don't say that to impress upon you anything, to brag, none, I just want you to know you can do it too. I'm a guy that come from nothing. Some of y'all can relate to that. We talking 4,000 and counting. I can do a lot of things for a lot of people because I'm in a position now to be a blessing to others. All because I told my truth. All because of the power of the written word. I put pen to paper and I use creative writing to impact the lives of thousands. Repeat after me. I can. Y'all got to turn up for me, GRCC. I can. I will. Be great. I can. I will. Be great. Man, I want to encourage you guys to stay focused, stay strong, and stay motivated. Man, give yourselves a round of applause. A couple things I like to do when I get with students. Of course, I'm going to open it up for questions. I do this enough to know I got a whole bunch of questions for y'all too, so we going to get it in. We're going to have a good time. But I'm going to open the floor up, man. If any of you guys in here got any questions about anything concerning writing, concerning being an author, concerning education, feel free to shoot your shot. Go ahead. His question was, how was it at MSU? The best time of my life. Check this out, man. I met my wife there. Played football there. I didn't have the type of success at that level at MSU like I was in high school, but the memories I created, the times I had, man, was the best of my life. I met 10 guys. They were from Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Jackson. They came from all over the world. It was 10 of us. We was called The Circle. They still my best friends today. They brought to the table what I didn't. Because of how I grew up, I had a focus. I had an ultra focus on making it. They taught me how to have a good time, how to let your hair down, how to live life, how to travel. So I thank those guys. But Michigan State, if nothing else, I met the love of my life there, who is now my wife. And she's been a blessing to my life, bro, especially with all the things I got going on now. So Michigan State was great. I studied clinical social work at MSU. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist. Help people understand why they think the way they do. That's what my bachelor's and master's degree is in, by the way. Great question. Got one. Right there. And then you. And then you. Go ahead. So you guys heard a little bit of my story now, right? So all my life, the constant message I received growing up was that you're going to be dead or in jail. You sag your pants too much, and I didn't even know God is sag. You do anything wrong, you keep that up, you're going to be dead or in jail. All the time. That was a constant message I always heard. When you got somebody that's already in jail, and when you know somebody that has fell victim to gun violence, that was not my fear. My fear, I told you, I was a gifted athlete. Can jump out the gym. I'm talking about 30 a game, 4 touchdowns. I'm talking about laying like that. I wasn't scared. I wasn't afraid of being dead or in jail. I didn't want to be called a dumb athlete. I didn't never want somebody to come to the game and be like, why Chris ain't playing? Is he not cutting it in the classroom? Guys, do you know that drove me more than anything that happened in my surroundings? The perception of what others may have thought about me because I had these athletic gifts. And so, dumb athlete, how my biggest fear became my biggest motivator. So, for a guy that didn't like school, I was a top performing student. And I tell y'all that because it means you don't got to be the smartest. You just got to apply yourself. For a guy that didn't like school, I had at least have my grades in a position where I can play on Friday nights and eventually Saturdays. That was my fear, man. I did not want to be called a dumb athlete, and so it became my motivator. And so it propelled me in a reverse way to get good grades, to be a model athlete, student, and the whole 9 yards. And so that was always what motivated me, not the conditions of my environment. Yep. Great question. Go ahead. Yeah. I alluded to it a little bit here. For me, it's about self-discipline first and foremost, knowing what you want to put out there. And so with a book, for instance, I'm going to tell you about a 26-page paper versus me writing a book. The book, all you had to do was just, because it was already in me. Guys, I wrote that book in 3 months. And once I really sat down, for real, the words just came out. And so for the book, I had to make sure that I put time aside and stuck to the schedule that I gave myself. So Saturday mornings, for instance, like I alluded to, 8 to 12, no phone, no social media. My wife, I told her to fall back for a minute. Let me knock out these pages. And so I would get 2 or 3 chapters done just within the 8 to 12 time frame, which helped me leverage my time back to myself. And then sometimes, man, I would also tell you I kept a notepad by my bed, because you will get revelations. You'll get different things that's dropped in your spirit that you need to bless somebody with, that you need to put in your writing. And so I would keep a notepad, so I might be asleep getting it in. I'm in my 4th stage of REM sleep. Something to hit me. Scribbling as much as I want to, man. I'm writing down little stuff so that when I woke up, I can make sure I put it in the manuscript. And so it was all about order, structure, and self-discipline. And that's how that was part of the process of how I got through my writing. Mind you, I told you, since 17, I knew what I wanted to do with this piece of work. And so that kind of made it easier too. I also just add to you, man, in college, you might be faced with this too at some point. If you're not already, you have to write long papers. And so one of my processes there was similar. I would make sure I gathered my information, make sure I knew the direction I wanted to go with my writing. And if I couldn't get the beginning, I would go right to the body. You know what I'm saying? Get something out there and then let my thoughts flow from there, and then maybe go back and add, or maybe go right to the ending. But however I needed to piece together, and then I wasn't afraid, man, and I'm going to say this to you guys, I wasn't afraid to go ask for help. You got people like Kim here, expert at what she do, the best at what she do. I was that guy. I won college material. I'm an athlete. I'm a ladies guy. That's what I was. I would go, hey, Kim, I need you to look at this. Help me structure my paper, because I needed to have it in such a way that I could get a passing grade. So don't be afraid to also seek help. Great question. Other questions? Right here. Man, when you make it out, bro, you have an obligation to see who you can inspire, see who you can provide hope to. And so it's guys in here right now, I don't know if they was feeling my message or not, but I'm hoping that they say, man, it's a dude that got a similar story to mine, similar struggle, some stuff I can relate to. If you can't even relate, he at least resonated with me. And so maybe I can do something with my life. And so you have a social obligation. They say, to whom much is given, much is required, right? And so if you are ever in position, which you are now, you sitting in college, man, there's plenty of people, especially that I go see in the prisons, that would love to be sitting here. You have an opportunity, you have a platform to tell them how you did it, to tell them what inspired you to keep coming back. So that's why I did it. Wow, I'm going to tell you this. Right now, I'm probably one of the top young speakers in the country. Let me tell you how it started. One of my teachers hit me up when I got out of school, and she was just like, Chris, my students is acting up. Can you come talk to my students? This is all it was. It was no money. It was for free. I was like, yeah, I come breathe on your students real quick. Came there. She happened to take a picture. She posted it on social media. I obviously did a good job too, but she posted it on social media, and from there, the teacher that was next door was like, could you come and talk to my class? I'm looking like, man, I ain't even no talker. I didn't say 10 words in school. What y'all mean, can I come? I was like, okay. And so I went to her class. So that was 2 pictures now up on social media, giving the impression of me talking. From there, bigger opportunities start coming. And then I said, wait a minute, man. I ain't no speaker. I'm not even a natural talker. I got to get a hold of this thing, because there may be some opportunity in this. And so from there, I began to, and I don't have no mentors. I don't have no training. I began to say, man, I at least need to put a price out there. And so I'm looking like, I'm going to just say $50. I can get some gas. I can get some wings. I can get a double cheeseburger and a small fry from Mickey D's. That's how I was looking at it. And so somebody paid $50, and I was like, straight up, people pay you to speak? I ain't even saying nothing that was cut like that. They paid me $50 for that. And so from there, it went from 50 to 150. But I'm just really playing around, seeing what they pay it. Somebody paid 150. I go to a little meeting. I met a guy. He said he speak, and he showed me a check for $2,000. I said, what? People doing that? You ain't even cut like that. You getting 2? I said, hold on. He don't got no degree, no nothing. He don't got half of my credentials. And I don't even talk about credentials when I go speak. I just give it to you guys straight. From that moment on, and then the author, when I wrote a book, writing a book makes you have to put your speaking fee at $5,000 minimum. You have to get that when you go somewhere to speak. From there, though, you can start adding all the other stuff. Where have you spoke? Have you done I do keynotes. I do graduations. I do all kind of schools. I do prisons. I do sports teams. I do athletic banquets. And so my base is wide open. And now the price is through the roof as well. Started with $50. Great question. I have not. Tell me a little bit about true success. Mm-hmm. That's pretty awesome. If you don't mind, if you could give me a little information about who I should contact or can contact to connect with them, I would definitely appreciate that. Other questions? Right here and then right there. My whole life was downhill, man. Check this out. Everything was always downhill. I happen to have a good outlook on stuff to make my reality better than what it was. I'll just give you one quick example. I only wanted to play college ball to go play professional football. I tore my shoulder up, and in sports, a player's availability is their best ability. So you're no good if you're always in the training room. And so all these skills that I shared with you guys that I got couldn't put them to use because I was always nursing an injured shoulder. So I became depressed. I was that guy that didn't want to come back home, didn't want to go to the barbershop because my community had an they saw me, the picture I showed y'all, 8 years old, I was getting it back then. So the community had an expectation for me to make it. I became depressed. I became isolated. I didn't want to go face the music. I didn't want to see people. And so I said, man, I can't let this get me down. I got to still make something of myself. And that's when I fell back on what I call my plan B or 1A, which was my education. And I took that route. Because I don't like math. Social work has the least amount of math out of all the majors. Your boy just not good in math, man. I can count that money. Yes, I can count that bread. But I wasn't good in math. Not good. I got passing grades, but it just wasn't my thing. It wasn't something that came to me, not even after meeting with tutors and studying extra. And so I used to tell my professors, beginning of the class, hey, I ain't cut like that in math. I'm trying to get a C+. If you can help me get that, man, I'll be grateful to you. And I should tell that. I sat every professor down for stats and whatever the math was, I always get that same line. And so I was able to get through. I didn't like math. I sure do recognize you. We very close. Mm-hmm. Yep. Tell Johnny, Dexter, and everybody I said hello. Yep. Hey guys, I gotta do something. I try to give away. I'm giving away 2 books, by the way, and so I need y'all to raise your hands to get these. I'm gonna put a couple questions out here. What age what's the life expectancy of people that come from low income families and communities? Correct. Another question. What did I study in school? Not you. You got some right here. Yeah. Can y'all clap it up for those 2? you two make sure that y'all come see me. I'm going to sign some books for you, and we got to do it for the gram. Y'all on Instagram? I don't even know what they do nowadays, man. So y'all might have moved on to Snapchat or something else, man. So I can't keep up. But we doing it for the gram, us two. And then those of y'all that want to stick around, if we can do a group selfie, I'm all for it. I'm telling you right now, I got a mean social media following, so some of y'all might blow up. It's a lot of pressure that come with all them fans, so I'm just telling y'all in advance. Hey, but no, you guys have been great. I just want to thank y'all for letting me hang out with y'all today.